We're just waiting for devotees. It's working day. Might come to you.
Okay, well, we'll sing bhajan, and then by that time maybe everybody will come. So first of all, everybody can put their devices on silent, because these little babies cry in the middle of the pravachan. And you can look up, as we have beautiful Gornitai deities here, we'll sing Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Daya Kora More. You figured it out? Okay. Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Daya Kora More. Sri Krishna Chaitanya Toma Bina Kirayalu Jagata Sansare Patita Pavana Hetu Tava Avatara Patita Pavana Hetu Mosamo Patita Bravo Napai Beara Prabhu Nityananda Premananda Sukhi Kripavala Kana Koro Ami Varadukhi Daya Koro Sitapati Advaita Gosai Tava Kripa Bole Pai Chaitanyani Mahaswarup Sanatana Rupa Raghunatha Bhatta Juga Sri Jivaha Prabhu Lokanatha Daya Koro Sri Acharya Prabhu Srinivasa Ramachandra Sangha Mange Narottama Dasa Daya Koro Prabhupada Sri Saraswati Dasa Dayako Prabhupada Sri Saraswati Dasa Vaishnavera Kripa Mange Adam Dasa Vaishnavera Kripa Mange Adam Dasa Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Daya Kora More Toma Vina Kirayalu Jagata Santare Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Daya Kora More Prabhu Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Daya Kora More Krishna Prabhu Daya Kora More Sisi Nitai Gaur Sundar Ki Hare Krishna. So seeing these very beautiful deities of Gaur-Nitai reminds us of the first verse of Chaitanya Bhagavat. Mainly we read Chaitanya Charitamrita, but the other very, very authorized biography of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is Chaitanya Bhagavat by Vrindavan Das Thakur. And the first verse is very amazing. Ajanalambita bhujo kanaka vadato sankirtanai kapitaro kamalaya takso visvambaro dvijabaro jugadharma palo vande jagatta priyakaro karuna avataro. Ajanalambita bhujo. We know bhuj means arms. Ajana lambita, all the way up to the janu, to the knee. His arms are stretching, both bhujo. In Sanskrit, we not only have singular and plural, but we also have dual. So if the word ends in a, to make it dual, then we add a u. Ajana lambita bhujo. So we can take it that, of course, he has two arms. But from the context of the rest of the verse, we understand he's talking about two personalities, Lord Chaitanya and Lord Nityananda. Both of them have arms that stretch up beyond the knees. This is considered to be very auspicious lakshan. So Janalambita Bhujo, Kanakavadato, both of them are glowing with the luster of gold. Kanak means gold. Just like if you go to Ayodhya to see the Bandu temple there, nearby is a place called Kanak Bhavan, the Golden Palace. And that is the only place, probably in the whole world, where you'll see Lord Ram and Goddess Sita in sitting position. Everywhere else they're standing, but in Kanak Bhavan you will see sitting Sita Ram. Very beautiful deities. So Kanak means gold. They both have golden complexion. Janalambita Bhuju Kanakavadato Sankirtanaika Pitaro. Not Pita, but Pitaro. They're both the fathers of this Sankirtan movement. Sometimes we sing one other song. Esika dia sabna dia pirchinechi gornitai. Esika dia sabna dia pirchinechi gornitai. Radha Krishna bol bol bolore sobai. Radha Krishna bol bol bolore sobai. So they were going out all over Nadia. Pirchinechi gornitai. They were going here and there all over Nadia, telling everyone, Radha Krishna bol, Hari Krishna bol, Hari bol. So, Sankirtanayaka Pitaro, they were both the fathers of the Sankirtan movement. Sankirtanayaka Pitaro, Kamalaya Taksho. Aksha means eyes. So they have eyes just like lotus petals. Kamalaya Taksho. Both of them. Kamalaya Taksho. Visvambaro. Both of them are the maintainers of this universe. We know Lord Chaitanya, he's Swayam Krishna himself. We know in his form of Mahavishnu, he's maintaining the whole universe. And we know that Lord Chaitanya, that Lord Nityananda, he's none other than Balaram. And we know in his form as Ananta Shesh, he's sustaining all the universes. So both of them are Vishvambaro. They're both maintainers of this universe. Vishvambaro, Dvijabaro. It's like Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, his father's name was Jagannath Mishra. So Mishra means Brahman. And Nityananda's father's name was Rai Pandit. So Vishvambaro, Dvijabaro. Dvija means Brahman. Because we all take one birth from mother and father, that we have in common with cats, dogs, birds, bees, everyone. But when we take second initiation, that is the real birth. He is our guru, he's the real father and mother. So both of them are Dvija, they're both Brahmins. So Dvija Baro, they're the best of all Brahmins. Vishvambaro, Dvijabaro, Yuga Dharma Palo. Before these two, they were Gopals, taking care of cows. They were Gopals. But in this incarnation, Yuga Dharma Palo, they're Yuga Dharma Pals. Before Krishna and Balaram were taking care of herding the cows, now they're Yuga Dharma Pals. Palna means to maintain, to care for. So they're maintaining, expanding this Sankirtan movement. So Yuga Dharma, that is the Yuga Dharma, the Sankirtan. Yuga Dharma Palo, Bande Jagata Priyakaro. Just like we see all of Prabhupada's letters, he signs off, your ever well-wisher. So Priyakaro, both of them are the well-wishers of Jagat, everyone in this universe. They're so compassionate, so merciful. Because in Kali means no one is interested in Krishna consciousness. Everybody's interested. How to make money, how to get a nice car. How to get a nice house, everything material. No one's interested in spiritual life. But these two lords are so kind upon the living entity. They give it a process. Sometimes when they sing that other song, what is that? Kevalananda Kanda. Yeah. Paramananda Kanda. This process is simply joyful. Even they're so merciful. Just like I remember one time I had one godbrother named Vishnu Jan Maharaj. He's no longer in this world. He had a big bus, and he would travel from one city in America to another city. And from the belly of the bus, he would unfold a huge festival. Because the luggage is always in the belly of the bus, right? from there, we expand out, would come out the stage and the different instruments and a cart for distributing prasadam and everything. So the whole festival expanded from the belly of his bus. He said, this bus is like a big fish swimming around this material world. Huh? And they come to a city and they would unfold this festival from the belly of the fish. So one day I was with them. I happened to be in the same city where they were. They were putting on their festival. And one ordinary businessman came by. And I was standing there distributing back to Godheads. And he stopped me and he said, every day you guys are here chanting Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. And I go home, and when I try to go to sleep, all I'm hearing is Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. I was envious of him. I wish when I went to sleep, all I would hear was Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. So even though they don't know what is Krishna, they don't know, they're not interested in spiritual life whatsoever, still Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Nityananda Prabhu, they're so well-wishers of humanity at large. They give in this simple process, even without understanding anything. They're getting benefit. He was complaining, and I tried to go to sleep at night, and all this coming in my head is Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. So seeing these beautiful deities, immediately this first verse of Chaitanya Bhagavat comes to the mind. Ajanalambita bhujo kanaka vedato sankirtanaya kapitaro kamalaya taksho vishvambaro dvijabaro jugadharma palo bande jagata priyakaro karuna avataro. They're karuna avatars, avatars of compassion. Shri Sri Gaurnitai ki. So if you don't know this verse, you should memorize this. It's a very simple verse and very beautiful verse. So, Hare Krishna. Om Ajnana Timirandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshurun Militam Jena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namah Sri Chaitanya Bhistam Stapitam Jena Bhutale Sayam Rupa Kadavayam Jadati Swaparantikam Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaur Bhakta Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Vanchakalpatrubhyascha Kripa Sindhu Vaivaccha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. So, other day somebody was asking about my background, so we told some things. But actually, I wanted to tell you about the very first time I was able to meet Srila Prabhupada. Because I told that how Prabhupada came to LA, so they sent me to LA to get initiated. I was joined in Boulder, Colorado. And that was the old temple. And we mentioned yesterday, they didn't have a place for Prabhupada to stay. So Prabhupada would come in the morning for the greeting of the deities. He'd give Bhagavatam class. After class, he would do kirtan for 5-10 minutes. We don't do that anymore, but he always, after class, he would 5 or 10 minutes, it was Harinam Kirtan. And then he would go back to his flat where he was staying. So we arrived on Saturday, but it was Saturday afternoon. So we weren't going to see Prabhupada till the next morning, on Sunday morning, the day I was getting initiated. But in LA, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday meant that we would go to Hollywood Boulevard, either Hollywood Boulevard or Sunset Boulevard, and have a Harinam Sankirtan till very late at night. On the weekends, we would stay very late at night. Of course, when I joined, there was no such thing as Mangalarti. That came later. So we would stay out quite late. And we had a special place because in America, if chanting the holy names on the street is your religion, then the police can't stop you for that. But if you block traffic, then they'll catch you on that one. So there was a place on Hollywood Boulevard. There was used to be a restaurant. We went by there that's the beginning of this year, huh?
In December.
December, end of last year. And it's no longer there. Some museum or something is there. But the building came down, and then it went in like this, like a triangle. And there was this big area. So we would chant, we would line up with our backs to the street, and devotees whoever wanted to stay and watch us chant, we would push them into that triangular area up to, that was in front of the doorway. So we kept the sidewalk clear. So the police were happy. We were happy. Just Diamond Jim's wasn't very happy. And Vishnu Jan Maharaj was leading. This is probably before he was Maharaj. And Prabhupada said, he had such a voice, Prabhupada said, he will sing his way back to Goloka. If you ever get a chance to get a recording of any of Vishnu Jan's kirtans, they're so sweet. I learned, and he spoke he was speaking in such a way that child could understand and a learned scholar could understand. He knew how to speak. I learned so much from Vishnu Jan Maharaj. He would make everything so exciting. Just like, people always ask us, what is that stuff in your forehead? A bird came by or something? Because in California we have these seagulls, we call them beach bombers. If you're not careful, you get bombed by them. So then we, stumble around trying to come up with some explanation. But Vishnu Jan, he would say, oh, this is a beautiful meditation that we do in the morning, where we take the clay from a sacred river in India and mark our body as a temple of the Lord. You go, wow. So anyway, he used to chant just so celestially. So he would have us all with our backs to the street, curved like this. He would make us curve like this. He said, just like the eye of Krishna. And he would stand at the end, and he would play Mridanga all day long. He would be in downtown LA, and then we come back, take some prasad, and then we go out to either Sunset Boulevard or Hollywood Boulevard, and all night long he would chant and play the Mridanga. And he would be dancing in such a way it looked like he was actually floating. And we even had a Hollywood Boulevard melody. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. We even had part B. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. And he would play so fast. He would tell us, we don't want any gaps for Maya to enter. So we would be chanting like this, and Vishnu Jan would be dancing and playing the mridanga. And he's looking down the line, so he can see the street, he can see the sidewalk, he can see both. All of a sudden, we saw Vishnu Jan's eyes got big like saucers. And he said, Prabhupada. And he hit the street. Now, we couldn't see the street, so we were looking this way. We didn't see anything in front of us that would make him do like that. So something must have happened behind us. So we turned around. When I told this story in Vrindavan one time, Garga Muni filled in the thing that I didn't know. He said, yes, that particular night, I remember that night, Prabhupada asked me to drive him to Hollywood Boulevard so he could see how his disciples were pushing on the Sankirtan movement of Lord Chaitanya in this horrible place called Hollywood. So we turned around, and now you know how old I am, because Prabhupada was in a Ford Admiral. You probably never even heard of a Ford Admiral. But it was a mid-sized Ford car. And we saw Prabhupada he was in the window of the car. He had his hand in his bead bag. And Prabhupada, the pure devotee, he was making pranams to us. He was so happy, so obliged to us that we were pushing on the Sankirtan movement in this horrible place called Hollywood. He was so obliged and so grateful. Let's say grateful. He was so grateful. Prabhupada was making pranams to us. And we were just we didn't know what to do. We wanted to peel up the sidewalk and hide underneath, because we were the type of people that, Yamaraj, he's got a secretary named Chitragupta. And Chitra, means picture, and Gupta means secret, right? You think, oh, well, nobody saw that. Chitragupta got you, huh? He said, nobody saw that one. Chitragupta got you, huh? We were such people that we crashed his hard drive. And Prabhupada was making pranams to us. So we all just hit the street and paid our obeisances. But Prabhupada was so grateful to see us pushing on the Sankirtan movement in this horrible place. So that was the first experience of Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki. So we went there just the end of last year. We saw there's no Diamond Gyms is closed up now. Some sort of Hollywood museum is there. But they kept that area like that. There's still a triangular shaped place there in front of the building. Hare Krishna. So how many people have been to Barsana? Oh, almost everyone. But have you ever done Barsana Prikrama, or you just go up the stairs, get harassed by the pandas, and come down? You've done Prikrama, okay. So, because it's no fun just to go upstairs, get harassed by the pandas, and come down. No fun. And those stairs are very heavy. So, but by the Prikrama, you go up gradually, and then you go down the stairs. So, there's a big gateway now in front of Barsana. So we all meet at that gateway, because the buses can't go in there anymore. And we all meet at that gateway. And then we have a kirtan. And there's a little shop at the end of the street on the left side where they sell all kinds of candies and things, because everywhere we go in Barsana, all these little children are coming and begging. They have this bad habit. They should be in school, but they're out begging, So we don't like to just turn them away. So that shop, he has all kinds of little toffees, So I have 3 or 4 people buy some bags of toffees and pass them out, just stick them in your bead bag. Everybody has a handful of toffees, and then as we're going around, when the children come, we just give them first we offer them within our hearts to Srimati Radharani on top of the hill, and then we distribute prasadam to all the little kids on our way. So then we go down through the town and make a little turn and we go past the old part of Barsana, where there's some big palaces that are in ruins. I'm trying to remember the name of that fella. He was the one who built the first temple there, but I can't think of his name right now. And then we come between 2 hills. There's a beautiful path, especially in the rainy season. Uh-oh. Just hearing about Barsana, he fainted, huh? But somebody tripped over the cord or what happened?
Hare Krishna.
It was too much ecstasy for him. Anyway, especially in the rainy season, it's very, very beautiful. There's this little path winding between the two hills. On top of the hill, you can see Jaipur Mandir on the right side. On the other side is big hill. And during rainy season, so many beautiful bushes and trees, and everything is very green. And you see this little path, and all the trees are just, we call them dole. They're just hanging over the path like this. In fact, especially in the rainy season, it doesn't look like part of this material world. In fact, if we go down this path, I don't know if we'll ever come back. You want to go or you want to stay? So we don't know. Deena Bandu took them down this path. He never came back. We don't. So you want to go ahead or you want to go back? Huh? Okay, I don't know if we're ever coming back. So we chant up this beautiful winding path with the trees hanging over either side, and big boulders are there that have rolled down ages ago from the top of the hill. And then finally we come to a very narrow pass. In Brijbhasa we say Sankari Kor. Very narrow pass. Because on one side is Barsana. First of all, Barsana is the incarnation of Lord Brahma. Brahmachal we call. The hill of Brahma. Because all day long on Prikrama, I'm behind all the devotees. Cello, 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 cello. But the hills and the mountains, they don't cello. So they're called Achal. Himachal. Sundarachal. Nilachal. So this is Brahmachal. And we remember from the Brahma Vimohan Leela that when Krishna finally manifested his opulence before Lord Brahma, he fell down like a golden rod. So his complexion is golden. This other hill on the other side of the path, that is known as Bilaskar. And that is an incarnation of Krishna, because he can't stay away from Radharani very far. So he's incarnated at this hill, Bilaskar. And when you get to Sankari Kor, you can see that all the rocks on the Brahma side, they're all sort of yellowish, golden in complexion. And all the rocks on Bilaskar side, Krishna's side, they're all blackish in complexion. Next time you go there, you can notice, you'll see they're all yellowish, and this side all blackish. And a very narrow pass is there. The other side of that pass is a village called Chiksoli. What's the name?
Chiksoli.
And that is the village of Chitradevi, Chitraleka. Actually, on the other side of the hill, there's a very beautiful. We were just there, and they've doubled and quadrupled the size of the temple. They have beautiful lawn in front of the temple with beautiful kadamba trees and great big temple hall now and beautiful deities. So that is a temple of Chitraleka. So, and Chiksoli is famous for butter, milk, yogurt, ghee, all these types of milk products. So Radharani and all her Sakhis, every day they go there to collect all this buttermilk and yogurt. And then they have to come back through this narrow pass. So Krishna knows that they've gone there, and it's a very narrow pass. So he was herding his cows nearby. So he comes with all the cowherd boys, and with his cowherd stick, he blocks the path. Because Radharani, she's coming, and all the Sakhis are coming through the path. And Sometimes we sing one beautiful song. One line is Hansa Gamani. Gamani means manner of walking, and Hamsa means swan. Now, somehow or other, I lived for more than 40 years in Bharat, but I never saw a swan. Geese, ducks, so many things. Just we went to Hyderabad last time, and we went to some lady's house. She had black swans, but white swans I never saw. There may be some other place, but I've never seen. But anyway, where I did see swans was in Zurich, by the lake, when we're doing Harinam. We see so many swans. In that Switzerland, where all the money that Modi wants to get back to India is hiding. So there we see swans. So we do Harinam. So perhaps you've never seen a swan walk. So they walk like this. So Radharani is coming with this big pot of yogurt on her head, and she's walking just like a swan. It's a Gamani. And Raghunath Das Goswami, he describes that the ankle bells of Radharani as she's walking is just like a spray, not a spray, mist of tiny, tiny nectar droplets being sprinkled on all beings, moving and not moving. Ching, 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 ching. So Krishna is there with his cowherd stick blocking the path. It's a very narrow path. And Radharani says, let us go. And Krishna says, Are, you girls are making a big profit selling all this butter, milk, and yogurt, and you don't give any tax to your king. And Radharani says, here my father is a king. We don't have to give tax to anyone. So then Madhumangal, he becomes the advocate for Krishna. And Lalita Sakhi, she becomes the advocate for Radharani. And Madhumangal says, now wait a minute. Nanda Baba is the king of Braj. So you'll have to give, maybe the Vrindavan is the king here, but Nanda Baba, he's the king of the whole of Braj, so you have to tax. And Lalita Sakhi says, just see the impudence. Just see how gamandi, how puffed up. You guys were living there in the other side of the river in Gokul, and he created so much trouble. Milk and yogurt. Everybody went to King Kamsa. King Kamsa came with 100 foot soldiers and 10 cavalry, and you crossed over the Jamuna, and Vrindavan Maharaj, out of the, he gave a little corner of his kingdom for you to stay, and now you're kings of the whole place. Madhumangal goes, where did you get this story? We never heard this story before. We're going to the GBC. You're preaching deviant philosophy. He said, Nanda Baba is the king of the whole of Braj, so you have to give tax, and for every argument you make, we're going to double the tax. And Lalita Sakhi said, what about you guys? You're taking your cows everywhere, eating all the grass. You should pay tax for that. All right, now we're going to double the tax. And you girls are going everywhere picking all the flowers. We're going to tax you for that also. So in this way, the advocates are putting their arguments back and forth, back and forth. But this pot on Radharani's head is not getting any lighter. So finally, she goes like this to push Nandan out of the way. So Nandan, he becomes, because they're just little children, you have to understand. So he becomes so upset. And we know what happens when a little boy becomes angry. It's like an atomic bomb has gone off in the heart. You know? And then he grabs that pot off of Radharani's head. He grabs him off that pot and pulls it down. Then Radharani, we just described what happens when little boys get angry. We're afraid to describe what happens when little girls get angry. She grabs the other side of the mouth of that pot and she's crossing her eyebrows, shooting darts at Nanda, and they begin to push. And they're pushing back and forth like this. And then all the Kahur boys get behind Krishna, and all the Kahur girls get behind Radharani. A big push of war is going on in this narrow pass. Up and down and up and down. And the Kahur girls are pulling on the sikas of the Kahur boys. Kahur boys are pulling on the skirts of the gopis. Like this, finally Radharani, she screams. And all the Kahur girls, they begin to push and push and push. And Krishna sees they're going to break through. So right there on the path, there's a big stone. So he takes that pot and pow! He smashes it on that stone. And you know how yogurt is a little greasy, right? That happened 5,000 years ago. But when you see that stone, you can see the lines of the yogurt coming down that stone. You didn't see, next time you go, you'll have to see. That stain is still there from 5,000 years. See, Radha Krishna ki. So now we'll go through this pass. Now I don't go. I have a sneaky way of going around with the car to the other side because I can't climb through there anymore. But we go through this beautiful pass, and you'll see just walking through it is just so difficult. We can't imagine having a push of war in the middle of this. So then we come down and we enter the village of Chiksoli. So especially we do a big kirtan to enliven all the Chiksoli Vasis. And we come to a certain place along the path, and I have a very dear friend, and Jayapataka Maharaj also knows him, named Nandanal Sharma. There's just a little intersection, and his house is on the left side. And there's a stone there. There's very few of these stones left. We see one at Belvan and one in Bandirvan. Little stone that says Chiksoli and has a verse from Bhagavatam. So that stone is there just opposite. He has his house. And his mother will not let me go unless we take some Braj roti. Because you don't know Braj roti. You know chapati. And especially our Gujarati friends, they make them just as flat as a piece of paper. But in Braj, we don't use this thing. Like this. Wow, nice and thick with homemade butter on top. So she won't let us go until we take roti. And chach. Oh, we just beg for, because in Braj, we don't scrape cream off and turn that into butter. We take the whole milk, turn it into yogurt, and then we turn the yogurt into butter. Brrr, brrr. And what's left over, that's the real buttermilk. And then we toast some jeera, and then like this, we put it in a little black salt. And we just beg from village to village. Because everybody gives it away for free. So she gives us nice chach and braj roti. So then we come through the village, and we come to a big parking area now. And we can see there's two hills, one straight above us and one on the other side. And if we look closely, you can see the decorations on top of this building, because this building is known as More Kutir. And so I have to explain to our devotees, more doesn't mean extra, you want extra prasadam. More means peacock. So this is peacock kutir. There's one time Krishna saw that Radharani and the Sakhis, they were watching something on top of this hill. So he went there and he saw they were watching the dancing of the peacocks. So then he became just like a peacock. And he was dancing, and peacock was dancing, and Krishna was dancing, peacock was dancing. And then he came before Brisbhanu Nandini, and she said, "Oh, you dance very nicely. But this peacock dances nicer than you." So then again, Krishna was dancing and Peacock was dancing and Krishna was dancing and Peacock was dancing. And then again he came before Srimati Radhika and she said, that was much better. But this peacock dance is nicer than you. Then Radharani became Morni. If Mor is peacock, then Morni means Pihan. And they began to dance like peacock and Pihan. And beautiful painting is there. You have to go way all the way up. I don't go up there anymore. I just tell the story and send everybody up and we wait at Krishna Kund for them to come back. So you go up there, beautiful painting of this pastime. They never allow pictures, though we managed over the years to sneak some pictures. Beautiful painting is there, Radha and Krishna dancing as peacock and peahen. And all the decoration, everything on the walls is peacocks. And on top of the building, from down below, you can see dancing on top of these cement peacocks are there. And all over the walls is peacock decks. And all around the temple is peacock tiles. And beautiful painting is there. That was painted by a saint of Nimbarka Sampradaya. And he happened to be an artist, and he was meditating on top of that hill when this pastime appeared before him. And Radharani blessed him that if you will paint this pastime, as long as you're painting, you will see this pastime. So he painted this pastime, watching it directly, sakshat. It was a very, very special painting. And then from up there, we can see all around. There's windows all around. And you can see the beautiful, especially in rainy season, everything is green. You see all these green hills and green mountainsides and green fields everywhere. Because this Golok Dham, this Braja Dham and the Golok Dham, they're non-different. Prabhupada used to emphasize this, that this Vrindavan is not part of this material world. It's non-different from the Golok Dham. Vrindavan is such a place, every bird, bee, animal, everyone has got some service to do for Krishna. And somebody always asks, what about cobra? Black snake, just like sometimes in our Goshala, cobra is coming out. What has cobra got to do with Krishna Leela? So one time, because on the other side, when we're up there, we can see there's another hill that is called Mangar. So Man, we know, means Radharani. You take a little anger and some pride and some coquettishness and some crocodile tears, and you mix it all together like an artist, and Radharani does Man Leela when she's upset. So one time Radha and Krishna were on top of that hill, and it was full moon night, and Krishna was describing the beauty of Srimati Radhika. He said her complexion is just as beautiful as the full moon. And Radharani became furious. Why she became furious? Because Krishna was comparing her with something with so many imperfections. We see the moon at night, he's got some blackishness. Krishna was comparing her beauty with something with so many faults like the moon. Actually, moon has got panch dosh, 5 faults. First we just mentioned kalank, he's spotted. Second is kai, he shrinks. Third is banki, he's crooked, like Banki Bihari, he's crooked. Fourth is Nisachar. Just like we came to Vrindavan to learn a little Vaishnavachar. So Nisha means night. So Nisachar means whose behavior is to come out at night. Who comes out at night? Rakshasas. And when does the moon come? Nighttime, like a Rakshas. So the 4th fault is Nisachar. He comes out at night like a Rakshas. And 5th fault, just like our devotees, they name their children, nice names like Viswanath, Viswajeevan, Viswajit, Visvambar. And what do all their friends call them? Hey, Bish! I'm always embarrassed. I'm in Braj and somebody, hey, Bish! All the Brajbasis turn around. People always asking me what to name their children. I said, don't worry about what to name them. Worry about what their friends are going to call them. So, fifth fault is Vishabandhu. He's a relative of poison. Because when they churn the ocean of milk, we know that poison came, that Uchaisrava came, and the moon also came. So he's born from the same place as poison. So he's Vishabandhu, like Brahmabandhu, he's Vishabandhu, relative of the poison. And if that wasn't bad enough, these 5 faults are there. What do we call the moon in Sanskrit? Chandra. Sounds too much like one of Radharani's competitors, huh? So she became furious. So she ran away from that place, and left Krishna lamenting and lamenting. And hearing Krishna's lamentation, even the rocks began to melt. After some time, Radharani returned, but she was all dressed up like Krishna. And Krishna said, hey, who are you? And Radharani, I'm Krishna, who are you? And Krishna said, I'm Krishna, who are you? And Radharani said, no, I'm Krishna, who are you? No, you're the Nakali Krishna, I'm the real Krishna. No, you're the Nakali Krishna, I'm the real Krishna. So finally Radharani said, all right, well, if you're the real Krishna, then where's your Srimati Radharani? Krishna said, I'll play my flute, she'll come, you'll see. And he played on his flute. No Radharani came. Again, he played on his flute. No Radharani. Third time, he played so enchanting melody on his flute. Radharani could no longer maintain her disguise. When he opened his eyes, he saw Radharani standing right in front of me. And he grabbed Radharani's hand and they ran up to Unchagaon, the village of Lalita Sakhi, to see if Lalita Sakhi can tell who is Radha and who is Krishna. Shri Sri Radha Krishna ki jai. So then after everybody comes down from, and if you know where to go, there's a rock with Radharani's footprints on it. I have a dear friend who's very dear to all the devotees from Chopati, named Tulsidas. He cares for that place. And there's a stone there with Radharani's footprint. So if you know where it is, you can go up. You have to go all the way upstairs and see the top of his house, and he has it there, and then you come back down. So then we come to a little kun. It has many names: Krishna Kund, Radha Sarovar, Geber Kund. Very, very deep, steep, and small kund. So we all sit on the stairs there. And we just told that Chiksoli is famous for butter, milk, yogurt, ghee, paneer, all these things, especially makan. And we know Krishna, he too much likes makan. So one time, Krishna and all the Kahar boys, they were going through Chiksoli village, and they were peeking from one house to the next in the window to try to find a house where no gopi was at home. So they peeked through the window, they saw nobody's home. So they all came in the front door and they began to drink all the milk and all the yogurt and eat all the butter. And have a grand old time. Because, and I have been to villages in Bharat where they're so small, nobody bothers to put lock on their door. So those days, nobody bothered to put lock. So they all came in, Everybody wants to go to Kuwait and LA and New York City. New York City is a big apple. First of all, everybody in New York lives up. When I was a little kid, I used to say, "Mom, I'm going out to play." She said, "Okay, be careful." But in New York, everybody says, "Mom, I'm going down." And first of all, you can't even get into the building. At least it's a little more sane here, but there, you can't even get into the building. The door is locked. And there's a whole row of buttons, and you push the button next to your friend's apartment number. And then all of a sudden, a little voice comes, who's there? You identify yourself. And then you hear this horrible sound. As long as that sound is going, you can open the door and come inside. You can't even get inside. First, you have to do this. And then you go up to the 55th floor, and then you find your friend's apartment, and you ring the bell, and then there's a little piece of glass. It gets dark, for a few seconds. And when he recognizes you, then you hear all the locks. And people want to live in this place. So there was no lock. So they all came in and were having a grand old time. That gopi came home. She peeked through the window. She heard some sound inside her house, and she peeked through the window. And she saw what was going on. And you've seen in India, we never have one door like this. We always have two doors like this. And there's a bolt on the outside, and there's a bolt on the inside. So she put the bolt from the outside. Means who's ever inside, now he can't get outside. And she ran to call all the gopis, other gopis. Meanwhile, Nandanandan, he also heard this sound. He knows the meaning. So he looked all around, he went out the window. So all the cowboys, they ran and they jumped up and they climbed up and they boom, boom. Everybody jumped out the window. But there's one friend of Krishna, one Sakha, named Madhubangal. First of all, Madhubangal, he's lame. He can't walk so well. So he couldn't run like all the other cowboys. He couldn't climb like all the other cowboys. Other thing is that although Madhubangal is one of Krishna's Sakhas, he's not a Gopa. He's a Brahmin. And our Braj Brahmin don't tend to be very skinny fellows. Huh? If you want to do Brahmin Bhojan, first of all, you have to have 10 Deshi ghee laddus. I'm still not a real Brijbaj. I can only take 2. But they won't sit down until there's 10 Deshi ghee laddus sitting on the plate, what to speak of the puri and everything else. So they don't tend to be very skinny fellows. So somehow or other, he climbed up. He got to the window. He tried to go through the window, then he got stuck. So all the gopis came back. They opened up the door. They came inside. Ha! We got you. And looked around. Nobody's there. Just this fat friend of Krishna stuck in the So they pulled him out of the window. Boop, and they tied his hands behind his back with flower garlands. And then they tied a string on his sika, and they threw it over the branch of the tree. And so now we got a hostage. You thought this hostage taking was a new thing, huh? This has been going on for at least last 5,000 years. And we have a hostage and you have some demand. So they told him, now you call your friend Krishna here. And then they yanked on that string. Woo! Kanaya! Woo! Kana! Ooh la la! So Krishna, he heard Madhubangal crying. He came running to the spot. And he became very upset. He said, Hari, what have you done? Don't you know, this Madhubangal, he may be one of my sakhas, one of my friends, but he's not a gopa. He's a Brahmin. Now you done Brahmanaparad. Now you're done Brahmanaparad. Now your health, your wealth, and your beauty will all be finished. And what do little girls worry about? Health and wealth and beauty. So they all became very frightened. Oh, Shamsundar, what can we do? How can we get free from this aparad? The Krishna thought for a minute. He said, first of all, you make a nice asad for Madhumangal. When you come there to Radha Sarovar, you'll see on the other side, there's a nice asan there. This Madhumangal's asan. You make a nice asan, you sit Madhumangal down, you go back to your houses, you find out how many laddus you have in your house, you bring them all there, you feed them to Madhumangal, he'll forget all about the aparad, he will give you Ashirvad. Whatever is your manukamana, your most desire of the heart. So the gopis, they made nice asan for Madhumangal. They brought so many laddus. He began eating all these laddus. He became very happy. He forgot all about that aparad. He gave them all Ashirvad. And what is the dearmost desire of all the gopis? That somehow or other Krishna become pleased with them. And that is Krishna consciousness, Sanshep Rup mein, in a nutshell. Everything we're doing, we're chanting Hare Krishna, associating with the devotees, reading Srimad Bhagavatam. Why we do all these things? So Krishna will become pleased with us. Krishna consciousness is simple. We make everything complicated, but actually it's very simple. We offer all our food to Krishna. We study Prabhupada's books. We distribute Prabhupada's books. We do all these things. Why? So Krishna will become pleased with us. Simple. In fact, you keep this formula in your brain, whatever you're doing, you just think, am I doing this so Krishna will become pleased? Or am I doing this so that my senses will become pleased? If you keep that formula in your brain, you're always Krishna conscious. Simple. So now, Madhumangal, his belly is full of laddus. He's very, very happy. So whatever blessing you want to take from him, now you can take. Sri Madhumangal ki. So anyway, Prasanna is very, very, if you do the Prikrama, it's a very, very beautiful place. And I guess we're running out of time, so we can put our voice to rest here and see if you have any questions.
Any question, any query?
Otherwise, from there, we go along the side of the kund. First way, we all go in and take some water. And the first thing that you have to learn about Braj is that if you go into any kund, the last step could be very chickeny, very slippery. So we go down very carefully, watch, especially if it's green. You don't dare step on it. You just reach down and take some of that water and you pass huge peepal tree. This is a type of tree that when Krishna saw this type of tree, then he would ask his mother Yasoda, Are Maya, ye khaan ki peher jiske pate ke poonche Maya, ye khaan ki peher jiske pate ke poonche Maya. What type of tree is this? What leaf has got a tail, Maya? Her mother Yasoda, oh Lala, this is peepal tree. You've seen, shaped just like a heart, and then comes down to a little poonch.
Yes.
And as soon as there's a little bit of breeze, they begin to move. And nice breezes there, then they make nice sound. A huge, enormous peepal tree is there. And peepal trees are very special because we learn in botany class, right, that the trees give off oxygen in the daytime and carbon dioxide in the nighttime. But peepal trees and banyan trees, they give off oxygen 24/7. Very special for the environment. Even somehow in Los Angeles temple, New Dwarka temple, they've managed to grow a peepal tree there. Just around the corner from the temple, there's a big peepal tree coming up. They're very special for the environment. Mm. And from there we enter into the Vrindavan forest. And especially in every season it's got special. In rainy season, you just see all these beautiful trees, tiny, tiny little leaves, like little emerald drops. Mm. And then a little later in the rainy season, you see little yellow topaz flowers coming on the trees. These trees are called dho. And they only grow up on top of the hill. You won't find because down on the plain, that's where all the water is down on the plain. So most of the trees are growing on the plain. And then on top of the tree, all the water is going down, so it's very dry. But they only grow there on Govardhan, on Nandagam, on Barsana. All the hills you'll see these trees. And these beautiful yellow topaz flowers come. And then, into the rainy season, you'll see little red ruby seeds are coming. And then if you come in December, then you'll see beautiful golden leaf trees, gold leaf trees. And if you come in January, then you'll see copper leaf trees, Tambupati trees. And if you come at Gaur Purnima time, then you won't see any leaves. But the trees are very light. Their bark is very, very light colored. And that time of the year, the sun's starting to get intense. It looks like a whole forest of silver filigree trees. Very, very enchanting forest. And if you take two rocks, ordinarily you take two rocks and you hit them, they go clack, 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 clack. But if you're in the right consciousness, you'll find one rock and you'll find another rock, or you'll see a big rock there and you'll hit it, ding, 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 just like Nupur. It's a very special mystical forest, this Vrindavan forest. And then slowly, slowly we go up. Very wonderful place. So anybody has any question or doubt or challenge? Okay. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Prabhuji, you mentioned about checking with the hard drive in the winter.
Yeah.
So we also crashed. So how I now know whether it is being back to the original, like repaired, and what are the symptoms? I will know that.
Well, Prabhupada said, when you go to the restaurant, do you ask the waiter, am I full? When you execute Krishna consciousness, you will know if you're going right. Because gradually all your distress and anxiety will go away. Sense gratification makes us feverish, I have to get more, I have to get more, I have to get more. But the more you become peaceful and satisfied, then you know that your material fever is going down. Because you don't ask the waiter, am I full? You'll know when you're full. Yes, Jigasudas.
I was watching this social media reel in which there's a place in Vrindavan where you place a pot of buttermilk, and it shows that it breaks by itself. It's like, if you think about Lord and you sort of, is this a place?
Somewhere on top of Govardhan, right?
Somewhere in Vrindavan.
I have seen it somewhere on top of Govardhan. I don't think we'll know. We never went there.
Yeah, because Mahaprabhu never set foot on Govardhan Hill, so we didn't go up. Vishvasis go, other Sampradayas go. I've heard about it.
I have seen it. I know it's on top of Govardhan somewhere.
And when I asked this question before, when I'm asking the same thing again, you've been almost 50 years in Vrindavan and you know so much, those places so deeply. So because we went on a yatra to Vrindavan, exactly the same, firstly the Radha Sarovar, and you just took us again. Just so beautiful. So, did you personally, Vrindavan by itself, see, for us, we go for 3 days and it's like, this, going to go to Vrindavan. Exactly.
Yes.
But you stay there constantly. So, any realizations, any personal realizations that you had?
Well, everybody asks, well, how can we keep that? But that's exactly what you do. You go to Vrindavan, you see the nice places with a devotee, just like Jagadananda. He was always trying to get permission from Mahaprabhu to go. And one time he gave Mahaprabhu a pot of sandalwood oil. And Mahaprabhu became very angry. He said, I'm a sannyasi. If people smell sandalwood oil on my body, they'll think, what is type of sannyasi is this? And then he broke that pot and became angry. And then again he asked permission, and Mahaprabhu said, no, now you're angry with me, you'll go to Vrindavan and criticize everyone. You criticize me to everyone. Anyway, finally Mahaprabhu gave him permission to go. He said, you go, you stay with Sanatana Goswami, you see all the places with Sanatana Goswami. You will not understand the Brijvasis. He said, don't offend them, but at the same time, don't mix intimately with them. And you return. Because if you stay there, just like in English we say, familiarity breeds contempt. You'll forget what is Vrindavan. Maybe 100,000 people living in Vrindavan town. And out of that, maybe 1,000 actually meditating that I'm in Vrindavan. I'm in the Brajadam, Golok Dham. Everybody else is eating, sleeping, making politics and going on like that. But if you leave, then you'll always think, oh, I went to such a nice place, Vrindavan. Radhasham Sundar was so beautiful. Krishna Balaram was so amazing. We went to Govardhan. We went to Nandagam with Deena Bandu. We went to Varsanam with Deena Bandu. We went to Gokul. We saw these places. When can I go again? And you'll always think of Vrindavan. And who always thinks of Vrindavan, he actually lives in Vrindavan. Yeah, this is the last time we'll do a little kirtan. One more question, okay.
Prabhuji, amongst the devotees, when you see, what pleases you the most? What qualities you see in devotee and pleases your heart? So that we can also try to learn. We just want to please you, so that way I want to. Which quality of Vaishnava?
Which Vaishnava quality pleases you the most?
So that we can develop.
Humility. The Prabhupada said, if you can't do anything else, just become humble.
So, can we do a little kirtan? No problem, right?
It's okay.
Okay, we'll do a special Braj Kirtan. And actually, we can dance also?
Prabhuji,
Now further request, can we dance also?
Nobody downstairs will get upset.
downstairs, no problem.
Because anyway, this is dancing music, so and then you won't be able to sit anyway. So you might as well, everybody can. You're tired of sitting anyway, so stand up.
So we'll not jump, we'll just move together.
Yeah.
Definitely.
So everybody rise up. Yeah, after. Who's playing mridanga, huh? Where's our mridanga wala? We'll give you a workout tonight. Huh? Jai Jai Radhe, Jai Jai Shyam, Jai Jai Sri Vrindavan Dham. Jai Jai Radhe, Jai Jai Shyam, Jai Jai Sri Vrindavan Dham.
Jai Jai Radhe, Jai Jai Ram, Jai 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 Vrindavan Dham.
Jai Jai Radhe, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Sri Vrindavan Dham. Jai Jai Shama, Jai Jai Sham, Jai Jai Sri Vrindavan Dham. Jai Jai Shama, Jai Jai Sham, Jai Jai Sri Vrindavan. Jai Jai Shama, Jai Jai Sham, Jai Jai Sri Vrindavan Dham. Shama, Jai Jai Sham, Jai Jai Sri Vrindavan. Jai Jai Radhe, Jai Jai Sham, Jai Jai Sri Vrindavan Dham. Jai Jai Radhe, Jai Jai Sham, Jai Jai Sri Vrindavan Dham. Pavan Radhe Tero Naam, Pavan Sri Vrindavan Dham. Pavan Sri Vrindavan, Pavan Radhe Tero Naam, Pavan Sri Vrindavan Dham. Jai Jai Radhe, Jai Jai Sham, Jai Jai Sri Vrindavan Dham. Jai Jai Radhe, Jai Jai Radhe, Jai Jai Sham, Jai Jai Sri Vrindavan Dham. Jai Jai Gopi, Jai Jai Gwal, Jai Jai Sada Bihari Lal. Jai Jai Gopi, Jai Jai Gwal, Jai Jai Sada Bihari. Jai Jai Gopi, Jai Jai Gwal, Jai Jai Sada Bihari Lal. Jai Gopi, Jai Jai Gwal, Jai Jai Sada Bihari. Jai Jai Radhe, Jai Jai Sham, Jai Jai Sri Vrindavan Dham. Jai Jai Radhe, Jai Jai Sham, Jai Jai Sri Vrindavan Dham. Govinda Govinda gaoge, prema padarata bhaoge. Govinda Govinda gaoge, prema padarata bhaoge. Govinda Govinda gaoge, prema padarata bhaoge. Jai Jai Radhe, Jai Jai Sham, Jai Jai Sri Vrindavan Dham. Jai Jai Radhe, Jai Jai Sham, Jai Jai Sri Vrindavan Kunda kunda mein chana mitale, apna jeevana safala kare. Kunda kunda mein chana mitale, अपना जीवन सफल करे कुंड कुंड में छड़ में चले अपना जीवन सफल करे कुंड कुंड में छड़ में चले अपना जीवन हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे Oh, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Oh, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Jai Jai Radhe, Jai Jai Shyam, Jai Jai Shri Vrindavan Ram. Jai Jai Radhe, Jai Jai Radhe, Jai Jai Shyam, Jai Jai Shri Vrindavan Ram. Jai Jai Radhe, Jai Jai Radhe, Jai Jai Shyam, Jai Jai Shri Vrindavan Ram. Jai Jai Radhe, Jai Jai Radhe, Jai Jai Shyam, Jai Jai Shri Vrindavan Ram. Jai Jai Radhe, Shyam, Jai Jai Shri Vrindavan Bolo Shri Brajabhumi Vrindavan Dham ki, revealer of the holy Dham, Srila Prabhupada ki, Jai Jai Shri Radhe. Hare Krishna. Dhanyavad.
One word.